Good morning, viewers. About the info bag on the sidelines of your activities with me, Mailan Adhima, who will present the last sharp and reliable news for the next 30 minutes. First news, viewers. Welcome digital age with satellite. Welcoming the digital era with satellite is indeed impressive for Indonesia because it can reach areas that have minimal internet coverage. In the world of telecommunications, there are terms backbone, middle mile, and last mile, referring to the physical infrastructure of telecommunications. The backbone layer is the backbone network. You could say it is the first search that must exist for telecommunication to be available.
In Indonesia, the backbone network is passed on fiber optic cables which are deployed on land and under the sea. If you have ever wondered why the internet in some areas in Indonesia is low, the answer is because the geographical conditions pose challenge in equitable internet access. One of the most realistic options for Indonesia is to use satellite on the middle mile network, Satria 1. The need for such a large satellite capacity has led Indonesia to the most strategic choice, namely to make its own satellite. The multifunction satellite, high-traffic satellite Satria 1 has a capacity of 150 Gbps or 3 times the total capacity of the 9 satellites currently used by Indonesia. Satria 1 is designed for internet connection. With this capacity, it is estimated that this multifunctional satellite can provide internet access public service points in Indonesia, which are not yet covered by the internet. While building Satria 1, Indonesia is also preparing a backup satellite or backup satellite with a capacity of 150 Gbps. Despite the reserve, this satellite is actually scheduled to launch earlier than Satria 1. National satellite starting point, Satria 1 is not the first satellite owned by Indonesia. As a support for telecommunication and digital service for the community, it turns out that the country with the large area in Asia has already known the Palapa satellite.
Viewers, be careful spreading the post hacker Jorka, netizens can be jailed. Behaving in the digital world also requires ethics, even though online communication is done without meeting face-to-face. Even ethics in the digital world has been regulated in the Electronic Information and Transaction Law, UITE number 11 of 2008.
Where various rules relate to content and information disseminated in cyberspace should not be arbitrary. Violating articles in the IT law can even threaten the perpetrators with imprisonment and fines. There have been many cases related to digital ethics violations that have ended up dealing with legal issues, such as defamation, hate speech to the spread of negative content. Users must understand what is appropriate and not share on social media. Avoid uploading negative content and status or comments related to things that violate decency, gambling, insult, and defamations, extortion and threats, spreading false news that cause harm, and hate speech related to sorrow. Bullying in cyberspace or cyberbullying that raises the victim's fear is not justified. Responding to the development of computer information technology (ICT), the Indonesian Ministry of Communication and Information, together with the National Digital Literacy Movement, Cybercrazy, collaborate and launch the Indonesia More Digitally Capable program. This program is based on the 4 main pillars of digital literacy, namely digital capabilities, digital ethics, digital culture, and digital security. Through this program, 50 million people are targeted to receive digital literacy by 2024.
Alright, we move on other news. Coronavirus cases and Aceh declared the lowest spread of the virus. There are only 2 more cases of coronavirus disease 2018 in COVID-19 being treated in Aceh and the lowest in the national case distribution data as shown on the COVID-19.go.id page. Meanwhile, Aceh's COVID-19 vaccination achievements are among the top 6 nationally.
Aceh is now free from the use of masks, where there is no longer an order to wear masks anywhere, including places that used to have to wear masks. In the city of Aceh itself, which used to be handling COVID cases by the government, who was so extract where coffee shops and a crowded place were visited, have to close before 10 a.m. now operating again. There are no restrictions and limits. This shows that Aceh is free from COVID-19. But we don't feel happy because the COVID is still everywhere and anytime and can take anyone. Make sure we have implement health protocols properly and correctly.
We move on. The next news. Joe Biden announced the COVID-19 pandemic is over. Jokowi, don't hurry. The President of the United States, U.S. Joe Biden announced that the COVID-19 pandemic in his country was over. Although the number of citizens who died continued to increase, President Joko Widodo responded to Biden's statement. Jokowi said he did not want to be in a hurry to announce the status of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. He reminded her to always stay alert.
Jokowi said that for Indonesia we must be careful, we must remain vigilant, there is no need to be in a hurry. There is no need to immediately declare that the pandemic is over. Jokowi has always said to be careful wherever and whenever. Jokowi explained that whether or not pandemic stops in a country is determined by the World Health Organization. And he said this pandemic is happening in all countries in the world, and the one who can give a statement stating that pandemic is over is WHO, he explained.
With COVID, we're still doing a lot of work on it. But the pandemic is over.
In addition, Jokowi asked the public to remain careful and implement health protocols, because he said there were 2 countries that experienced a spike. President of the United States, Joe Biden, declared that the COVID-19 pandemic in the country was over, even though the number of Americans who died continued to rise. Biden said that while still having problems, the situation is improving rapidly. Yet statistics show that on average more than 400 Americans die from the virus every day. In an interview with 60 Minutes on CBS, Biden said the US was still doing a lot of work to contain the virus. This made the President of the Republic Indonesia, Joko Widodo, speak up about it.
Bisa memberikan statement menyatakan pandemi itu selesai adalah pihak.
Prevent COVID-19 easily for closing our meeting today. The current breaking news will share tips for viewers at home how to prevent COVID-19. I can't believe it's been 10 minutes and we are at the end of the event. I'm Mailan Adhima as the presenter. I'm resigning. Thank you. Happy weekend. Although COVID-19 is rarely heard around us, but COVID-19 is still there wherever and whenever. Of course, we should prevent it before getting sick from the virus. Here are some tips from accurate breaking news.
Maintain health and fitness so that the body's stamina remains excellent and the immune system increase. Wash your hands properly regularly using soap and water on an alcohol-based hand rub. Washing hands shortly besides being able to kill viruses that might be on our hands, this action is also one of the easy and inexpensive actions. Keep a distance of at least 1 meter from other people. If you get too close, you can inhale droplets from people who may have COVID-19. When coughing and sneezing, cover your nose and mouth with tissue or at the inside of your upper arm, not your palm. Avoid touching the eyes, nose, and mouth triangle of the face. Hands touch many things that can be contaminated with the virus.